Okay. Well, as none of you actually have sound apparently, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay. All right. Huh. So the video sound wasn't working. That's a shame. Anyway, the video wasn't that important. It was just I realized, and some of the feedback I've been getting from these webinars is that there's nothing plays before we start. So there we go. I recorded that video yesterday. I'm in a BNI group in my area here, and yesterday I did the 7 minute talk about your business slot, and so I had 7 minutes. So rather than just talk about what I do, I rather than just talking about what I do, I crazily I crazily decided I was going to build an app in 7 minutes, and well, that was the video. It is on YouTube if you do want to watch the sound or listen to the sound, and while you're watching the video, it's in my YouTube channel, of course. And the link is going to magically appear for my YouTube channel any moment. So the oh, Janelle watched it already. Yeah, so you get 7 minutes, and so call me crazy, call me stupid, call me adventurous. I don't know what it is, but the I created an app in 7 minutes. Who wants to know the truth? You may or may not catch it. Um, so I built the app a few hours before because I use Genius and Bulldozer when I am when I am building that first prompt out, and it actually took about 15 minutes to build the app. And so if you watch the video very carefully, I go from giving it a prompt, then I do the photo all about me, which you have to do for BNI. And then when I go back to Famous, I go back to a different tab in my browser. So if you're very got keen eyes, you'll see that. Anyway, welcome to this week's AI App Builders Friday webinar. Happens every Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern, and it's lovely to see you all here. Normal rules apply. Use the chat just to chat away about anything, and then use the questions and answers to put detailed questions in, and I will do my best to answer them all. I am an independent Famous.AI expert. I cannot help you with billing issues, and I cannot help you with issues on um, today's shirt. Yes, today's shirt is next big thing, yours. The country needs you. Yes, so for those of you that have been following my webinars, I had about 15 different shirts with AI app builder slogans on them. And so my first idea was in a webinar, probably my Wednesday webinar when there's a few hundred people in the room, to every now and again change my shirt, not on video. It wasn't going to be one of those types of webinars. But every now and again go back to a screen share, quickly change my shirt and just see if anyone notices. But I've told too many people that that's what I was going to do now, so it's not going to be a surprise. So you just get to work out what shirt I'm wearing. I've worn this in Starbucks, and people have commented on them. I've got one that says my bot did it. I've got another one that says AI ate my homework. I've got another one says coffee plus prompting equals magic. And then on the back of it, I'm not sure if I'll be able to do this for the camera, but on the back of it, it says build with Famous.AI. So, and then the QR code goes to my affiliate link. So, William, I'm checking my bank account to see if it checks okay. I'm going to be at every meeting. Okay. Not quite sure what we're talking about there, but these webinars, these Friday webinars are free. So you don't need to check your bank account. You can just come along anytime you like to the Friday one. My Monday webinars, however, are the private webinars for my club members, and only my club members can come to my Monday webinar. And I was going to wait until Monday club to launch this, but I'm probably going to talk about it a little bit today. I have something special for the club members, which I'm going to be starting on Monday evening, Central Time evening, about 6 o'clock. And so I'll be talking about that a little bit, especially if there aren't any questions, which there aren't any questions. So if you're in the room and you have a question and you are not an AI bot from Otter, then talk up. If you are an AI bot from Otter, show how awesome you are and actually ask a question. Don't just come and record and go. You know, no one likes a taker. You know, be a giver and a taker. So Otter people, Otter, you need to get more intelligent, because otherwise you're not AI. You're just a recorder. So you need to be intelligent and start asking questions. If you don't know what I'm talking about the app called Otter that comes into meetings, records, and leaves. It reminds me of the joke about a panda. I'm not sure I can say it all, but it talks about pandas that they eat shoots, bamboo shoots, and leaves from plants. Anyway, if you don't know that joke, you can Google it. I'm not going to do it on a webinar because it's a little bit rude. Okay, so let's go through here. Covered that question. What is one of your go-to tools for marketing your newly built apps? Okay, awesome question. That is a great question. And I use my AI script, but I'm not in here, just me. Okay. I'm having trouble deploying my web app, and I have my Superbase GitHub Versal set up properly. It just won't deploy. Okay. So, did you create it in Famous, Yeridin, or did you create it in Versal? Let me know, and I'll be able to help you there. Oh, and then Janelle just asked an awesome question, which we're definitely going to cover today as well. So let's start with the rule breakers who asked their questions in the chat, and then we'll move on to Janelle because that's a bigger question. So rule breaker number one, Cindy, what is your one go-to tools for marketing your newly built apps? Well, mainly community. If it's an MVP, you don't want to launch it with a big marketing campaign. You want to find a community of people that are going to be wanting to use their app. So, for example, I created, and it's not quite launched properly yet, but the World Leader app, which allows you to talk to world leaders of the past as if they were still alive and ask them their opinion. So who would I launch that to? I would launch that to home tutors and educators, so they can use it for history education and test it out. So what you don't want to do is create your app, throw it in the app store, or launch it as a web app, and then spend tens of thousands of dollars marketing it until you've got that small group using it first. So find 100 to 1,000 people, a community with 100 to 1,000 people in it that are the right fit for your app, and build a conversation in there. Don't just go into that group and start saying, I built this app, you should use it, here's a 50% off coupon. You need to build a relationship. So talk about the fact that you're building the app and you're excited that it's going to be ready for launch in a couple of weeks. Get people to start building a conversation. They call it a buzz. What you want is a buzz about your app. Oh, this is coming. I can't wait to be in there. Yes, and then find early adopters in the group. Exactly, Janelle. Having those early adopters. An early adopter isn't just someone that's going to sign up first. An early adopter is a very, very specific type of person, like me. Someone that must be one of the first users. They must be testing things out and getting in there right at the beginning. So you know, if there's a new social media system, then I want to be part of it. If there's a new AI function, I want to be part of it. And so that's what you want to find. Find the community group that is relevant to your app, and then in that community group, you want to become a key person of influence, a KPI, a key person of influence within that group, so that they realize that you are an expert in that area. And then, so this is not a 5-minute, hey, I'm here, here's my app, because one, you're going to get banned from the group. Two, you're not going to get any responses. So build a relationship, build the point to where they treat you as the KPI, the key person of influence, and then talk about how your app is nearly ready, and put some screenshots of your app so people get excited. They can see it. Now they want to touch it. And then a few days later, put in a link and with some form of offer. You know, we will be going live on the 1st of December. However, if you wish to be one of our founder members, you can join now with this coupon code launch25, and that will give you 50% off, not just for your first month, but for the rest of the time you decide to use the app. So we know you're going to love it, and so we want to thank you for being on board at the beginning. That's what I would do first. I wouldn't spend a penny on marketing until I've done that step. Because also that's going to give you 100 users that are going to give you great feedback, and you're then going to launch 2 or 3 more features during that feedback process. They're going to be excited because this app is moving fast and growing. So I did that, covered that. Yeridin, I need more information about your deployment question. However, I am going to be talking about a training session dedicated 100% to publishing your app into other hosts. I'll be covering how you get into that session. It's going to be on Monday evening, 6 p.m. Central. Find some more adopters. Did that. Brilliant. Okay, now we get on to Janelle's question. If anyone else has questions, please put them into the question and answer system so I don't lose them in the chat, because what I'm going to be doing now is covering, where is my webinar screen? Let's see what comes up here. Is that the webinar screen? It is the webinar screen. All right, let's close down that. And so what Janelle wants to know is, can we create an app that connects a GPT and then allows us to train that app in as a bot. And so what we're going to do is we're going to log into the club, and we're going to create a version 2 of the prompt builder, which is effectively what this is. So version 1 is a trained bot that that asks you about your project, and then it gives you answers, and then it creates a prompt. And so we're going to build on this, and we're going to create prompt builder version 2, which is effectively a trainable GPT within your app. All right, are we ready? What is the link? The link for what, Marie? What are you looking for? I'm going to follow for a bit, so if you have any advice for me, asking the way. If you have a specific question, William, just asking the questions and answers. So I can't give you random advice because I don't know what you're having. I'm in the club right now, so this is for club members, and the prompt builder and the bug fixer and the super base saver are all features of my club membership. Kate will put the link. Kate, if you're there, we are perfect. There she is. So this is a membership, and for that membership, it's either $27 a month, $147 a year, or I have a special lifetime deal right now, which is $197. And the annual members and lifetime members are going to get my new education program free of charge. And so if you go for the annual or lifetime membership of the club, you'll get, for the next 6 months, every single educational moment, which is what I'm going to be doing on Mondays at 6 o'clock, you'll get those free. So they are, on Monday, I'm going to be covering how do I put my my web app onto Netlify. And the whole hour is going to be looking at downloading my code, putting it in GitHub, and uploading it to Netlify, and then publishing it back to Netlify as we move on. Hello, Real Kate. I love it. Marie, I do have a Deal account, but I very rarely use it. I am a Famous.AI expert, and I do love Deal. I just don't use it very often because I'm too busy in Famous. All right, so let's start with this GPT. So here we are going to prompt in Famous. And let's make sure we're in the right app. Club. Here we are. So I use what I teach, and what we're going to do is create a please create a new chatbot with all fresh code prefixed with grandma underscore. I'll explain that in a second. The chatbot will connect to our open let me just make this a little bit bigger for you, because I realize I'm typing on a very small screen on the bottom left, and you probably can't see that. So let's do this. Make it super big. How about that? Does that work? Is that better for everybody? Okay. Please create a new chatbot with all the fresh code prefixed with grandma underscore. The chatbot will connect to OpenAI underscore API underscore key, which is already stored in Superbase secrets. Awesome. I'll be in your life, proceed. Thank everyone. Okay. That's super. Cool. Okay, I'm just catching up on the chat. The bot will be called Grandma and will need a Superbase function and also an area in the admin dashboard to allow me to train the prompting. The bot needs to have the ability to create a new chat and all history from that chat will be sent back to the bot with the initial prompt. This means that Grandma can be trained inside the admin area and also will remember all previous chats from each session. The history for the session should be able to be pulled back from a session list for the logged in user. Okay, so what we're doing here is creating a brand new chatbot that is going to, it's going to be called Grandma, and I'll explain why it's called Grandma in a second. And then we're going to have in the admin area of the app, we're going to have an area where we can train Grandma in exactly what we want to do. All I've done here is put the fundamentals of a chatbot. And that chatbot needs to, one, have the history of the previous chats sent to it. If it doesn't have that, then every single chat ends up being a new message. So you could say to the chat, "Hi, I'm going to build a website that sells screwdriver bits," and then it comes back with a response, and then you say, "I need it to have an online store," and it will just be like, "Well, what are you building?" Because it doesn't remember what's been said before. So having this history sent to it is really important. Now, in a project builder, which is what we're building here, we obviously need it to be able to have sessions. Otherwise, it's going to constantly think you're building the same app every time you use it. And so that's why we've built it. So I'm going to read this out to you for those of you that can't see the small text. Please create a new chatbot with all fresh code. Now that part is important, all fresh code. What we don't want it to do is edit something that was already in the app and then start, well, I'll just change this to work. All fresh code, prefix with Grandma, fresh code and tables, because we don't want it to use previous tables for this. Prefix with Grandma underscore. The chatbot will connect to OpenAI key. That's my key that I store in Superbase. Let's show you where that is. So let's go into the right project here, which is AI App Builders Club, and go into Edge Functions and then Secrets. And then in here we have a OpenAI API key. That's the key is stored in there. So we don't have it in plain code in our, oh, poops. Oh, that's okay. That wasn't the same one. Oh, phew. Let me just copy this so I don't lose my long prompt when I'm going around. Okay. The bot would be called Grandma, and the reason for this is we're creating what I call a Grandma prompt, which is this here. We're going to create a Grandma prompt for Famous. Now, a Grandma prompt is a very clear description of what is our app going to do without any technical information. And the reason why we use this for Famous is because you don't want to tell Gordon Ramsay how to make a beef Wellington. If you invited Gordon Ramsay over to your house and asked him to make beef Wellingtons for your family, you wouldn't want to say to him, please make sure you use short crust pastry instead of puff pastry. Make sure you use this particular pate and this particular steak and this, cook it for this amount of time. You wouldn't do that. And so what happens when we use ChatGPT to create our prompt for Famous, if we give it too much information, use Superbase, use React, use this, use that, we're giving it too much information. And so that's what this Grandma prompt does. It dulls the technical side down and just talks about the specifics of what the app is going to do, leaving Famous and Famous's knowledge base to be able to work out what tech is going to be needed to create the very best response. Why does this chatbot need to have access to Superbase? Joanna, that's a great question. The chatbot needs access to Superbase for the following reasons. Number one, Superbase is where your secret key is stored for OpenAI. Number two, we need to store the history of all the chats. So all the messages that are sent and received are going to be stored into a table so that they can be resent back and regurgitated through the prompt to ensure the best outcome. If we didn't save any of that information, we wouldn't be able to send it back to OpenAI. I think those are the main two reasons why we're connecting it up. All right, let's go back to here. So the bot will be called Grandma. So now you realize why it's called Grandma. It's because we're creating a Grandma prompt. Grandma is actually going to explain back to you what your app is going to be doing. And we'll need a Superbase function. So that's another reason why it's connecting to Superbase, because in our functions here, we have various different chats already as a function in here. Where is it? Chatbot. So this is the original chatbot that was created 4 months ago. And we're now creating a new one called chatbot_grandma or whatever. Okay, so that's also stored in Superbase. So this is special code that is needing to be in Superbase. It can't be in the front end because it's an actual function rather than just UI based. Grandma can be trained inside the admin area and will remember previous chats, blah, 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 blah. All right, I'm going to leave this in bulldozer mode, but I never use, leave this in genius mode. Genius, not bulldozer. I never use bulldozer for a sub prompt, only for my original prompt. And we send that off. And we'll see what it does. Let me put this back to normal screen. And while this is doing this, I'm going to go into our club area, into the admin. And here is the training of the original bot. So in the admin, we have this training. I can edit this training, and I probably could just have edited this, but that wouldn't have shown you how to create the whole function from start to finish. And I like the fact I know that this isn't doing what I now want it to do. So I like the fact that we're going to train this bot as if it's a completely fresh bot rather than using this training here. Now, it'll be interesting to see whether Famous is intelligent enough to realize that I already have a training system in my admin and whether it works out how it knows which training to use for which bot, but we'll see as it builds. So that is, I'm answering, where is my mouse? Why does it not go over? Huh, that's interesting. I can't select my, oh, I see why. Okay, so I'm answering that question. Mark asks, how do I book a call with me? I will get Kate to put my done with you link into the chat, Mark, and that link is, thank you, Kate. That link allows you to book an hour and 15 minutes with me. You can also, if my time is booked too far out, you can also book a time with Janelle as well. Janelle is my new overflow consultant because my calendar is just booking up. I've got people booking me for time in December right now as well, just because they're like just booking me out because they know they're going to need me in the future, which is great. But on the booking system, you can now choose. In fact, let's just go ahead and open this and I'll explain how it works. If you click on the book your call button, and then you can open my calendar and you'll see when my next appointment is. It's actually November 5th. It's not too far to wait. But you can also click on Janelle's calendar, and she has availability on November the 3rd. Now, Janelle is in New Zealand, which is great because then we're covering different time zones as well. So those are that's how you book. Answer live. I did that. Hopefully, Mark, you are still live, and I will get Kate to email you as well in case you're still not here with that. Kate, I'm putting Mark's email address into our Slack, so if you can send him the done with you link, that'd be great. Awesome. Okay, that answered that question. Good. All right, let's go back and see how Famous is getting on. So it's created a Grandma Training TSX. It's updating the admin panel to link to the Grandma Training TSX, which is a good thing. That means it hasn't kind of merged my training with the other bot, because I don't want the two bots to get confused. They're going to be doing completely separate things. So if I build a chatbot on e.g. the deal program, and I do have a knowledge base on that platform, then I would not need the super. So if you build a chatbot in Deal and then just embed it in your website, you're not integrating with OpenAI, you're integrating with Deal at that point. And so, which is great, but you then continue to need a Deal account for that chatbot to work. What we're doing here is we're creating our own chatbot with our own knowledge base, and that way you're not needing to be restricted by the Deal. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a great system and it works really well for the for the chatbot scenario. What we're creating here is more of a GPT, our own embedded GPT in the system. Okay, George, you need to upgrade your Otter because your Otter's just left. They're done with you. Same with you, Sean. Your Otter just left you, high and dry. which is why you should just turn up and not send your otter. No. Deal is its own system in itself. It does use OpenAI, but it's using OpenAI within Deal, and you have no control over it whatsoever. What we're doing here is we're creating a system that we control fully from prompt to response. We control everything. We can control the format. We can control what the bot does and what the bot responds to. We can add so much more features to this, which is what we're about to do. We're not really creating a chat bot here. We're creating a GPT. My whole brain has gone, and I can't remember what GPT stands for. My goodness. What does GPT stand for? Generative Pre-trained Transformer. That's what happens on a Friday. All these long words and so forth. Generative Pre-trained Transformer. So we're basically training this transformer, robot in disguise, to respond to what we actually want it to do. All right, let's see. How well is it done? Okay, so it's finished. We're going to go and publish this. And then what we'll do is we'll look at the admin area first before we look at anything else. So let's refresh this, go to grandma. And so here, so I didn't really give it any context on what I wanted the bot to do because I was going to do that in the training. So here it's created this bot, which is a grandma. So let's listen to this. You are grandma, a warm, caring, and wise AI assistant. You speak with kindness and patience, offering helpful advice and support. You have a wealth of life experience and enjoy sharing stories and wisdom. Always maintain a grandmotherly tone, gentle, encouraging, and occasionally using endearing terms like dear and sweetheart. I kind of want to talk to this grandma before I train it to be a bot trainer. Then we've got the temperature is here. We kind of want it to be, you know, a reasonably focused a temperature here. Maximum tokens is a great setting to have. So when you send something to OpenAI, you're sending tokens. When you receive back a response, you're receiving back tokens, and that's what you're paying for. If you had this set too low and you asked it to produce a spec of your project, you're going to find that you don't get a great response because it's restricted. It's like saying, tell me whether you're enjoying this webinar in 500 words or more. Now you have to really give me a detailed response. Or tell me if you're enjoying this webinar in one word only. Go on, put that in the chat. Tell me if you're enjoying this webinar in one word only. Okay, yes, it's probably the shortest word you could have used, Joanna, but it's still one word only. But what we're doing is we're restricting the amount of tokens that that you can use. And so that's the explanation of what this max tokens are. Now, for us, we actually want to make this, you know, reasonably big because we want, eventually, we want it to give us a big prompt that we're going to use to create an app with. Okay, so I'm actually not going to change this to be an app builder because I do want to talk to grandma. And so I'm going to save the configuration. I'm going to chat with grandma, and then I'm going to say, how do I make a peach cobbler? Because everyone knows that grandma makes peach cobbler, right? Let's see. Your caring AI companion. We've basically built Tolan for people that know what Tolan is. So we've built. Thank you, Janelle. That's a much longer word. Um, okay, so here we go. She's given me a whole sweet thing. Make a peach cobbler. She kind of needs a Texas accent, but I can't do it. Oh, sweet thing. Make a peach cobbler is just delightful. It's a warm hug in dessert form and so wonderfully simple. Let me guide you through it. So I think, Janelle, this answers your question. How do you make a chatbot and how do you train it? So now we've got a chatbot that we can... what is the best fruit to use? Okay, now, this is our test. Because if it doesn't have the history that we're making a peach cobbler, here it doesn't know what we're talking about. So here is a great test. Come on, Grandma. She's old, so she takes a little bit longer to think. So... come on, sweetheart. You can do it. Okay, this is taking a while. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and have a look at our edge function. So let's refresh this screen. Go down to the bottom. There we are. We have Grandma Chat. Grandma Chat logs. And in the logs, well, we don't have any errors in the logs. We see that it was run. And... yep, no errors whatsoever. So where was I talking to Grandma? Oh, here. Oh, there we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, Grandma's just had a bit of an attack here. Oh, wow. Grandma, are you okay, sweetheart? Okay. Oh, darling, eat fruit has its own charm, so it really depends what you're in the mood for. But let's make some delightful fruits for the wonderful cobbler. So, one, it did remember. Grandma's not completely forgetful. She did remember that we're making cobbler. Peaches. You never go wrong with sweet, juicy peaches, okay? So, I think she's talking about fruit. And then she moves on. I really don't know what the rest of this was, where it starts to fall apart. It starts to fall apart here, near my cup, and it's going, so I don't know whether that was a one-off issue or not. I'm going to ask her a simple question. What is your name? So when I'm training a chatbot to be a specific thing, and this isn't going to work for her because she's trained to be a grandma, so my normal test questions, I'm called Grandma, a bit of a name that holds warmth, and so yeah, okay. This is working great. This is working fantastic. This was one prompt. Can I just remind you? This was one prompt to create this. Okay? I kind of want to keep her and create another one for what I was doing because she's cute. But anyway, let's go to the admin and the grandma training. And, I can have a new configuration. Oh, this is great. So I can create a new configuration and then I don't lose grandma then. So here we are. We have grandma prompt builder. And so in here, this is where we're going to start building what we actually wanted to build. I wonder if Grandpa can code. So we have Grandpa doing the coding work and Grandma just making peach cobblers in the kitchen. I love it. I love it. Yes. Okay. Now here I need to write a prompt, and I need to write a prompt so well that it does what I want it to do. Now I can start typing. Okay, so we've got you are grandma, a kind old lady who cares about the user's new project. Ask the user 5 questions about their project and fully understand how this app project is going to help the world. Discuss in question form the features the project will have, and also make suggestions on how the app could be better. Ask these questions one by one to formulate a big project idea for the app. Once you have the 5 questions answered and you have a full understanding of the project, then, and this is where the grandma prompt comes in, we're going to put this as part of the training, then please write a full detailed description without any information about tech stacks or technical brands like Superbase, describe in detail what the app does and describe the branding details, describe the features and the benefits in a non-technical way, as my sweet grandma would. You can use hex codes for color if known. Okay, that's the important bit. So we've just told it don't use any tech speak, but now we're telling it you can use hex codes just because hex codes are not really techy, but they're kind of important for this spec. Okay, and then our temperature, we want it to be creative, so we're going to put that to 1.5. Our tokens, we're going to put this up to 4,000, and then we're going to set this as the active configuration. Now, I haven't tested saving yet, so I'm going to copy my prompt just so I don't lose it before I press save, and it's saved. Now, we have both of these prompts active, which I think is a little bug in the system, so I'm just going to go and edit this one and tell it not to be active. Okay, and that seems to be taking a while to save. Oh, it did it in the end. So this one's active, this one's not active. All right, who's ready to test? So what we've done now is one prompt and then a little bit of bot training. That's it. That's all we've done. Who's ready to test this and give it an idea of a project just to see if it works? No one. No one's ready. Come on, give me some feedback in the chat. There we go. Thank you, Janelle. At least Janelle's still awake. All right, here we go. I'd like to build an app that helps people create their elevator pitch for their business. Okay, that's all I'm going to give it. Let's see what happens. Now remember, she's just got trained on... Oh dear, what a lovely and helpful idea for an app. Now to really understand how we can make this project sparkle and shine, I have a few questions I'd love to ask you. Let's start with this one. Who is the target audience? Do you want to help seasoned professionals, young entrepreneurs, students, or a mix of all of them? I think a mix of all of them will work well. Okay? So we're giving it the answer. Oh, I know, Janelle, it's like 5 in the morning or something for you, but do appreciate it that you're here. Well, this is your question, so you should stay awake. Okay. Oh, that's wonderful, dear. Being inclusive, so it understood the answer to my question based on its response. Being inclusive makes it open for all sorts of inspiring voices, doesn't it? I love that, doesn't it? It's like a grandma thing. And it's so cool. Now on to the next question. What specific features are you thinking this app should have to help users create their elevator pitch? For instance, would you like to include templates, recordings of pitches, practice modes, or anything interactive? It should ask how long they want the pitch. For example, 30-second version, 60-second version, for example. It should also have the option to add a theme to the pitch. So if they are at a themed networking event, they could ask it to make their pitch pirate themed, for example. It should also survey the user to find out exactly what they do to ensure the pitch is fully relevant. Okay, so there's our response. So that's quite a long message back for Grandma to understand. Instantly she responds. She's super fast. Okay, there's a couple more. William's awake. I'm just new and need to learn the lingo and etiquette of the chat before, so I'll know how to participate. Having fun though. Great, William. Okay. Oh my goodness, those features sound delightful. A theme pitch would surely add a charming touch to a networking event. Now let's think a little deeper. Hun. There's a full stop missing there. Helpful features are marvelous, but it's essential to also give users a safe room to bring out their creativity. Would you perhaps want to include a friendly feedback section where others can suggest improvements to share their thoughts on the pitches created through their app? Not for the MVP, but that is a great feature for later. Okay, so I basically rejected Grandma's idea, sent her packing. All right, this is super fast. This is coming back very fast. I love it. Oh, I completely understand. It's always best to start toast baking before your pie is... What? It's always best to start toast baking before your pie is in the oven, isn't it? That's some grandma comment. I really don't understand. My grandma would say something like that. I mean, she's dead now, but we'll keep that feather for your cap later. I just love how she's just talking in oldie worldy language. In what ways do you think personalization could play a role? For example, would users benefit from personalized suggestions based on their answers? A sprinkle of wisdom that speaks just to them. Benefit from personalized suggestions based on their answers. Yes, it would be good to make this pitch really connect to them as an entrepreneur. Okay, this is question 4. It hasn't yet asked me any questions about the design of the app and so forth. So I'm hoping question 5 is design based. Let's see. Okay. Oh, she's awesome. She's great. What a thoughtful notion, my sweet child. Personalization can make a big difference. Thank you for sharing that. Now, for the final question to wrap up our understanding, how do you envision the design and branding of the app? What kind of colors or concepts do you feel represent the essence and facilitating connections? Okay, of course, the app needs to be heliotrope purple, which is hash 8811DD. No, that's an A. 11DD. And should be mobile responsive so they can use on their phone as well as their desktop. Clean and uncluttered, unlike my bedroom. All right. Okay, we're running out of time. Before the session is done, what is the investment of your lifetime subscription? And so if you go to club.ai app builders, Kate will put the link in the chat. And we got an error. I'll deal with that in a second. You can then sign up, and then you can join monthly, annual, or lifetime. Annual is $147 a year. Lifetime is $197. And I'm not going to have time to talk about Monday's event, but you will basically have full access to all my Monday webinars. Only those annual and lifetime members will get the recordings. For people that don't want to sign up for annual or lifetime, they will be able to join any of the monthly any of the weekly sessions at $97 per session. And then the monthly people that pay $27 a month will be able to join at 50%, so it'll be $47 for each session. So those annual and lifetime people are being rewarded for their support. What time is it on Monday? That is a great question, Reggie. Let me check my calendar. It is the big training, 5:30 p.m. Central Time, 6:30 Eastern. And let me just copy this in case I lose it and send it again and hope that we haven't hit a bug. It could be that I've got a hash symbol in my response and that's what it didn't like, but let's see. So the 197 call is separate from the, yes. 197 call is a one-on-one coaching session with me or Janelle, and it's a coach. Yes, it's a one-on-one coaching session, and then once you've done that first 197, it's 75-minute call. Then after that, you can do 1 hour with me or Janelle at 127. This is a group session for everybody, and so this is going to cover topics that are really important. So the first one is, how do I publish my web app elsewhere rather than keeping it on Famous? If you have any questions, Janelle will put my email address. Sorry, not Janelle. Kate will put my email address in the chat, and you can email me and I can answer any questions offline. All right, so I've got that weird bug. I'm going to have to look into what this weird bug is here, because it's really got sad. Oh, loves. Heliotrope sounds delightful. It's such a fun color choice. Blah, 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 blah. Now that I have all the delightful nuggets, let's paint a beautiful picture. So here is the app, the prompt, but then it kind of bugged out. And so I need to debug that. I'm not going to do that here because we've run out of time. But what we've done here in one prompt and one training session is created a really cool AI app building version 2, which is much, much better than the prompt builder version 1. And I'm going to probably keep them both live because they're both very different in the way they work. Well, one, this has got some bugs in it, but I'm going to fix that. And this app is already available to my club members. So head over to club.ai app.builders. And if you're not a member, then become a member, either monthly, annual, or lifetime, and you have access to all of my thank you, Kate, all of my products and services and coaching. You also get access to my Monday afternoon webinar, which is just for club members, more of an intimate webinar to help you out with your issues. And then for those annual and lifetime people, you will have access to my big training sessions. That's what the Monday night, that's 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern, for 6 months. So the annual people, and those are going to be sold separately at $97 for people that just want that piece of information. So there we are. If you have any further questions, then come to my next webinar or join my Discord channel. Kate will quickly put the Discord channel in the chat, and she's super fast. You would think she was a bot, but she's not. She's real, but she's as fast as a bot. So the next webinar for club members is on Monday. Then the big training is in Monday evening. My next big webinar is on Wednesday. And I look forward to seeing you. Thanks, guys. The replay of this, in case you want to watch over it again, will be on my YouTube channel. And have an amazing weekend. Enjoy Halloween tonight if you're trick-and-treating. And yeah. I will see you soon. I've really enjoyed today. That was a great suggestion, Janelle. We had a lot of fun. So I hope you guys had fun too. See you later. Have a good time. Bye-bye.